Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and put this two-tiered box together. But first, I'd like to show you a couple tools that I have. Luckily, you guys have this one that came with your score and cut board. And this is a perfect tool to use for scoring and as well as burnishing your glues down. But there are other things on the market, and most of these I've gotten from Amazon. These come from Craft Treat, and they are Teflon burnishers. It has a nice, for getting in corners, this is really nice. And this is just nice to push down on the flat edges. I also have this one, which does a large area. This one also does a large area. It comes from the Silhouette group for making those big machines that cut paper. I like to cut with scissors. And then, being an old librarian, I have a regular bone folder. And I love my bone folder, but I also like the Teflon. The Teflon seems to last quite a bit longer. So if you want to keep this nice and don't just want to use it for your scoring, then I would suggest you go ahead and get these. This is about $12, about the same. This is a little cheaper, but it's also plastic, and I think it'll probably warp and crack after a while. So just a little side note there for you. Okay, so I have all of my pieces for my two-tiered box. I have my sides, my lid, and my two drawers. So let's put our lid aside for now, and let's go ahead and look at the outside of our edges. And you can tell the outside because the inside has the line where you folded over the tabs and glued them. So I'm not going to decorate mine, but I'm going to show you how to decorate yours. And some of you already understand the concept. And if this is big enough to fit, well, it's not. So let me get, I had scrap paper in here. Here we go. Ooh, this is pretty. You'll be able to see this. Okay, geraniums. So what I will do, let's say I'm going to work on this square. So what I will do is, we always want to have about, a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch around. So I will go ahead and I will put the edge of my design paper pretty close to the edge, but not quite touching. There's about a 1/16 of an inch on both of these sides. And so then I will draw a line right at the edge here, and right at the edge where it folds here. Now I do that because when I go to cut, I will cut on the inside of those lines. So let me get my cut board. And I'm not going to open it up because we're just going to do a little cut. But there's my first mark right there. And remember, this is just a little different than the one we worked on in class. This is actually the cut line. It's a little wider than all of your score lines. So you want to make sure and get your mark right there. And since I'm going to do it on the inside of that mark, I'm going to move that pretty close to the edge of where this razor blade goes. And then I'm going to look down my side to make sure it's pretty even and cut. So the way to check that then is to take your paper and hold, yep, that's going to fit. It's going to leave me just about a 1/16 of an inch on both sides. And I've already marked this one, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put this mark in the middle for now, and then I'm going to move it this way so that I'm cutting on the inside of that line. And that will give me just about a perfect size for my box. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down real nice. Oh, and this will be cute. I'll just go ahead and print more of these papers. Let me close that, Carla. I don't want that to break. Okay, so once you do that, then go ahead and check again, once again. Yep. And you can see just a little bit of white space around the edges. So I will glue that. Ouch. I jugged myself. I will go ahead and glue that down. Stay girls already know how to use this one. I'm going to go ahead and use this as one of my favorites. And it's already rounded so it doesn't cut my paper. There we go. Okay. So you'll do that with all 4 sides. Now, you're welcome to do the inside too. It's just that as we put the boxes in, they're going to kind of cover up this inside. So you don't really have to do the inside, but you do have to do the outside. The other thing is when you're cutting for the inside of a box, if you cut for the outside, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to mark this at the edge and remember to cut right on the inside of it, and this one. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. Oh, let me put my needle back. I'm sorry. I don't want my glue to dry out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Let me see if I can, there's one. Okay. And again, I take the dark mark a little to that side, and then I will take the dark mark a little to this side. Let me shut that, sorry. Okay, so, was I doing? Yeah, I was doing this. Okay, so I will check to make sure it fit, and it does. Now, you're going to see this is a little big. To make sure that it's going to fit, if you cut it for this, it should, in theory, fit on the inside. And one way to check is to take it sideways, and if you can move it back and forth a little bit, you're good. And then turn it to the other quarter, and we're good. So then you can just throw it in there. It's a little binding right here. So I would take my scissors, because it's just a very little bit, and you're welcome to take it to the score and cut board, but sometimes it's very hard to get these very small pieces cut off. And there we go, it fits nicely. Okay, so let's just pretend, and you guys go ahead and decorate all of this. You can stop this video and decorate all your pieces and then come back to this. But I'm going to show you how once you have everything decorated, you put these together. And again, remember, you don't have to decorate these 2 sides of your drawers, but the outside, because how we're going to put it together is like this. 2 of these sides are going to get glued in here, and you're not going to see them. So it's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and do that. And you are welcome to glue this in now and decorate later. I've done that. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this. Oh, little fruit fly. Yeah, I did wash my fruit though. Okay. So I am going to try and make a little corner so that I can get this pushed up and it's laying flat on the table so that it's going to be pretty flat. And once I get it put where I want, I will hold it and then I will burnish it down so that the glue gets smished out good, and it also holds better if you do that. So there we have one side in. So we're going to do the other side, and basically all that is putting glue on your box where you're going to connect it. And again, I just kind of set it down flat. And then I'll lay it down and burnish it again to make sure everything gets glued good, all the glue gets distributed nicely. So we have one of our drawers in, and you can see we did this on the bottom half of our side. So this second one we are actually going to put on the top half. So if you want to go ahead and tip this over, just remember you want the bottoms to be up on this. And so we're going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to glue one side of my drawer. And then I will make my little square, push this so that it kind of sticks a little bit. And this will keep it really flat too. It'll keep it on good edge. and then I will go ahead and push my glue down. And this really is a cool little trick. It just makes your glue stick better. So you can kind of see we have offset drawers, and that's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and glue the second side. Make sure it's going to be the side that you're going to glue to this. I'm going to push it so that it's pretty flat. There we go. It's not quite square, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Not the end of the world. Okay, so there you have it. Now I'm going to go ahead and decorate this because I'll use it as a gift. And anywhere that's open like this, then I will decorate inside, outside, all of this. But when you shut it, it makes such a cute little box. It will hold 4 of those Rocher chocolates. Now this is your lid. You'll have it decorated and you just put it on there. You can put a bow or a flower if you want to make it real pretty and fancy. And it's ready to give to someone once you have it all decorated. I hope you have enjoyed this series. Next week I'm going back into the classroom, but I will put videos up of what we're doing for class so that you can keep up with us. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you join us again. Thanks. Bye-bye.